I'm
So
sorry. No,
sweet.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. But
No, you got fourth. You got what was coming to you. You always get fourth when we play together.
always the bridesmaid.
I also
More
was super
lies.
depressed when you got voted out, Brian. I literally was upset
Yeah,
Oh,
because my vote was
we were
lost.
very much like, is it Lily? Is it Bryant? That
Yeah,
was
because
just
there was like a
oh.
lot of
Well, but here's the thing.
similarities.
I will say a lot of us, and I mentioned this in the jury chat, a lot of us were like, Bryant has our vote if
yeah.
he cuts Lily.
Yeah.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
then when I was watching that tribal and you revealed that you had the idol, I literally sent to the jury chat, Lily has my vote. I'm sorry, Lily has my vote. Like, Lily's the one who had it. She has my vote.
Wait, where
Like,
did
hello?
Caleb go? Did he leave?
Sweetie.
No, he's
Oh,
here.
Just
Thank
talking
And you know
to
who
you.
else is here? I am with
hey.
the
No one
awards.
cares
Awards
about
time.
Oh,
no one
sorry, we
cares
were
It's
about you,
really
awards.
Jacob. No one
chatty.
cares about you,
Speaking of
Jacob.
awards, yeah.
Well, that's not true.
Okay, some of us
Friends.
care about you, but Aaliyah cares about you, but no one else does.
That's crazy.
Fuck
Of
it.
course. All right, so we're here with the awards. We have flowers to give. We have people. We have recognition to give out here. We're just gonna get right into it. Most robbed pre-juror. Oh boy, some shenanigans were taking place on the pre-jury. Does anyone specifically on Prod want to announce the nominees? And so it's
You
going to
can
be
do
me.
you can
Great.
do this one.
Okay, okay, I will do this one. This is a very difficult award to give out. I feel like with each pre-juror, I was like, oh, this one's going to be most robbed pre-juror, and then something crazy happened like the next round. We can only give to three nominees. Our nominees are Issa, Morgan, and Sanam. Sanam just inherently, she was the last pre-juror. She was the closest to potentially not to being a pre-juror. She had an idol. Talk about that later. We have Issa, whom if they just like showed up at Tribal, maybe this wouldn't have happened. We don't know for sure. I've asked for Jay Wan's insight on this specifically from like his perspective, what Issa's absence affected his decision. And then we have Morgan. Let's switch. Let's talk about that for a moment because going into this round, Morgan had no business get surviving this round. They were handcuffed to Lily, so they were forced to vote in tandem. Mikey, who was an integral number to keeping them in the game, was forced to vote in the minority. So but Morgan successfully forged this bond with Lily to the point where Lily was going to bat for Morgan. This wasn't particularly the case the round prior, but that during that round, Morgan was good. Morgan was Gooch, and it seemed as though that if the Sergio Ryu of it all were going to target anyone from the other side, being Mikey and Morgan, it would be Mikey instead. Until whatever the fuck happened at Tribal Council, where Ryu had the plumb bob, where he could essentially, he didn't read the advantage, but what essentially he could have done was he can tell somebody, you have to vote this way. They do not have a choice. They have to vote that way. So he told Morgan, quote unquote, to vote for Mikey because Lily is tethered to Morgan. Lily either votes for Mikey with them or votes against them, and neither of their votes count. Then Ryu, it's Sergio, both vote for Morgan, sniped them out the game. We thought that this was the round where Morgan was really coming alive. Morgan wasn't in the greatest position on OG Baravi, but was making strides to kind of like forge that bond. I kind of see like how Lily was able to work with Caleb and Ryu. I don't know if that necessarily is the case of Morgan still in the game as an option. I thought Morgan could have made a very deep run of this game. We were very depressed. For those of you who don't know, me and Jared did stock watch during the season. We were assessing people's games, breaking down each round, how we felt people were going to be doing moving forward. This is the only boot who but so much is like, oh my gosh, why did Morgan get sent home? Like Morgan arguably played the best that round of the people that were attending that tribal council. They get sniped. We were sad. We were crying at the club. Morgan, do you have any?
Like, okay, we just need to talk about it because I was completely out of everything in the game. I had nothing the whole game. And then I finally found something and I bought an advantage that I saved my hard earned coin for that nobody shared with me. Nobody did a fight with me ever. And it bought me a disadvantage. And I was like, oh my God. And then I never had to use the disadvantage. And then I got swapped and I was like, oh my God, I might actually get to play the game. Like, oh my God, I get to be handcuffed to Lily, like my only person I would want to be handcuffed to. No offense, Mikey. And then all of that happens and it just like honestly, Ryu, you like totally wasted all that garbage. I had nothing in the game. Like none of my tribe even like I knew they were all working together. It was very clear. And nobody ever invited me to any alliance to hold pre-swap. And I was like, I'm like totally out of it. Like it's so awful. Nobody wants to work with me. And then I get like just advantage out of the game for no reason. It was crazy.
I mean, you were a really good player, so.
I mean, I know that.
I mean, looking back on it, I should have just used it on Lily and took Lily out, you know? So.
You should have
Really?
saved it.
You should
Or
have
you should have
saved it.
died.
Literally,
Actually,
like
I
already
agree with the
voted.
You should
Lily
have not
statement.
used it was the move. Don't
Right.
use it.
I couldn't even vote that round. Literally, it was so
If
Yeah,
even
baby.
Sergio is saying that you
Yes.
saved it.
Sergio, what the hell? Like, I saved you. I got you to jury.
Yeah, man,
What the
but
hell?
like that's when I stopped trusting you too. Like I was over you at that point. Like I was so annoyed by what you did. Like it was
That
so
doesn't
dumb.
even make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
I do
When
want to
was
say
it good until?
I don't
yeah,
even
when
know.
was-
I don't
What
know.
might be
I
the
guess
issue then.
I totally over. I thought Sergio would be really loyal. That's why I used
Hey,
it.
Like,
But
and
it
Guy,
was
I mean,
obvious
I
you
thought
were
that
like
wasn't the
talking to
case. I was
Lily
like,
and Morgan
what?
more than me. So I was like,
Excuse
all
me.
right, why am I here? Sorry, Mikey. Go ahead.
No, I just when I got to merge and I found out that like y'all weren't as close as I thought you were. I was like, oh, this is great for me.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
I do. I
It
have
is
to
good till
say,
final 8.
like, I need to shout out Lily one more time. I'm so sorry. Like, Lily, you were literally like my rock in the game. Like, you were like literally I like finally found somebody I could work with that like talked to me, and I was like, yes, like I'm actually happy in the game, and then gets advantaged out. And you're like, oh well, like it's over.
Literally, you should have seen my prod chat after, because then we immediately swapped, and I swapped with Ryu. And Sergio
No, I-
was like, "What the fuck?"
No, I was clocking, and I was like, this is fucked up. Y'all are fucked up.
We died when
But
that
then you were
happened.
fucked up too for working with him. And then, but it's okay because you beat him in the end.
So speaking of fucked up, you know what else was fucked up? The jurors that y'all sent home the way that y'all did. Jared said he specifically wanted to give out this award, and you can introduce the nominees when it's time to do that.
So I wanted to introduce this award as the reigning Rob Juror from season 4. So our nominees are, we have Jay, because he literally went home it was decided at 9:29 that he went home. It was crazy. Edward, because he got sniped that round, didn't see it coming. And Aaliyah, who had really good progress leading up to her boot. And then all 3 of these were, I'm pretty sure, in a row. And so they all kind of caused each other. And then our winner it's Edward, because of the snipe to get him out. What we saw it as a good move, but we were really sad that Edward left and he was in a really good position. So that is why Edward won.
Have any words, Edward? Accepting the Grammy, you know.
No, not really.
Real. We're gonna move on to the best move of the season. This was tough. This was very difficult to divvy out. For the opposite reason why worst move was difficult to give out. What we landed on was, of course, like there's 2 reasons a good move could be good. It could be good just in premise. It's a very intelligent move. It's clearly very well thought out and well executed. But some of these great moves may not pin out for certain individuals. This move, I feel, kind of set the tone for the rest of their run in the game. It's like we wanted to give it to one person specifically, but I felt like these 2 were so hand in hand in the last portion of the game, they were the two front runners from a win equity perspective, and I think this move kind of catapulted and was the reason for their success. So to piggyback off the reasons why Edward was most robbed, best move goes to Bryant and Lily taking out. I'm saying them specifically because yes, Blam takes them out, but Aaliyah and Mikey get except at six. But Bryant and Lily, I think, reaped a lot of benefits from doing this. They kind of expose like Ryu and Caleb, kind of put them in a more vulnerable position, make them a little bit more affable and willing to work with Lily and especially Bryant moving forward when they didn't really have a working relationship before this round. Lily kind of highlighted this during FDC, how it was a very difficult move, and I think wasn't a necessary sacrifice for her and Bryant to make to try to set the tone and have people need Lily more. I think if she had gone through with keeping Ryu, keeping Caleb, keeping Edward, I don't think she makes it to Final Tribal Council. Like obviously, got her the win, give her flowers. And I think this was a crucial moment for Bryant because taking out Edward lost Lily a lot of trust with that group. And Bryant, I think, picked up some of those pieces and made a group that worked better for him. So working with Blam, I thought really benefited Bryant. And I think this was the catalyst not only for the subsequent move. I just feel like this move specifically was the turning point where I felt like it was their game to lose from this point onward. So if y'all want to speak on why you guys did what you did, Brian, I know you weren't talking during FTC, so you can talk about it if you want.
No, there's just a lot of planning that went into this and a lot of like coordinating when we talked to Aaliyah and Mikey and who talks to who when, and it was a lot. And also like I don't know, it's just an exciting thing to make. And like I love being able to like throw a bomb in front of a train that's like about to pick up too much speed. And Lily was integral to making that happen as a duo. So
I got some props. But with every best move, there is a worse move. Oh boy. There was quite a few contenders and nominees on here. And a part of me, Jared, you said you want to do this one, right?
Because I got this last season also.
Thank you. You're way nicer than me. Please go on.
So this cast was really interesting, and so we went a lot of different ways with this. We have 3 nominees for this one, I believe. Correct, Jacob?
We have 3 that we narrowed it down to, but they're not on the doc. So only the winner is here.
Okay.
If you want to talk about that.
The 3 nominees for this are, well, it was Ryu and the Plum Bob, taking out Jay, and Sanam not playing her idol. Sanam not playing her idol because she knew she was in trouble. She was vocalizing it in her prod chat. Taking out Jay because that caused a domino effect of a lot of different moves that caused trust to be lost with key people such as Lily. And then what was the last one?
Ryu using the
Plum Bob.
Plum Bob, which Tawny could go on a 15-minute rant about the misuse of the Plum Bob.
Correct.
And how overpowered it was. I thought she was going to say something.
I'm not going to because I'm on my phone and I also have my headphones in from my computer and I hear myself and it's freaking me out.
But it was an overpowered advantage that we could dissect a lot. But we think it was misused. What, Brent?
Which advantage was that? Sorry, I missed
The
it.
Plum Bob, the like Sims looking thing.
That shit was so overpowered. I literally thought it was a block a vote, and it was like, no, it's a steal a vote, and then also it's steal 2 votes and use them. I was like, what?
Well, it was 2 votes because of the handcuffs, and there's a whole thing. But the worst move we went with was Sanam not playing her idol for the simple fact that she knew she was in danger and was sending GIFs saying, I'm in danger. Still didn't play it. But we also went back and forth on every, like, it was between this and taking out Jay, really. But when you know you're in danger, play the idol.
I also want to say, while this wasn't seriously in contention because it was just me saying this, I just said Final Seven. Do not get me started on my rant about that round.
Bro, don't even play with me. Like, don't even.
No, no, not just taking you out. That's postseason. That's post awards. That's post awards. Let's not get into that. We're gonna move on because Sanam cannot defend herself, and we can't laugh at her on Zoom either, and that makes me sad. But we're gonna move on to best alliance. Um, there was lots of alliances made, but not a lot that were stuck to. This is a very fluid cast. Lots of times people would add production in their project saying, hey, let's make a group, let's make an alliance. But these people, whether they had a name prepared or not, did not matter. There was lots of those being made, but lots of those people, that was like their last action in the game. Remember, like the Rune Breakers was made, the round Kevin was voted off, like, for example. Like there was lots of alliances that were made, but not a lot that were stuck to. And this feels like cheating. I feel like this is a pretty much like a cop-out answer, but I feel like this was an alliance that endured multiple rounds of the game and technically, despite Ryu's best efforts, was not turned against. So the Undercats alliance, the Undercats alliance, consisting of Caleb, Ryu, Lily, and Bryant, is the alliance of the season. They make up the final four, and I don't want to talk too much about this because again, this is a postseason thing. But very competitive field. Again, Lily mentioned like wanting to take like the strong people to the end, not to take anything away from the boots before this point, but we thought that this was a very unlikely group of people. We were very shocked when this came together and the Aaliyah move came into fruition, and we thought, no, this is just going to be another temporary alliance. This is just going to be blam. It's going to be like a one round thing, and it wasn't. So a blind side to production as well. And you guys were able to pull it off. So
Also, shout out to Quickies because
Quickies.
that was a great name.
That was a great
Yo,
name.
the quickies, let's go.
That was, I think, the winner for like a good chunk of the game. Then the Edward thing happened, and
Well, no, the
this
J thing happened, and then the Edward thing happened.
that's fair. The J thing happened, then the Edward thing happened. There was other alliances too throughout the game that we were very invested in, like the Gel Alliance, the fact that y'all were separated throughout the rest of the pre-merge and finally were able to come together. It's like, yay! The Gel Alliance, which consisted of J1, Edward, Lily. But it didn't work out. But let's cut this in half. Best duo. Does anyone else on Prod want to present this award? I see how it is. Okay, so best duo. There was lots of final twos that were made, lots of final two deals that were made, and we had not one, not two, not three, but four nominees. And hilariously enough, it's our final eight. We have Mikey and Aaliyah, we have Lily and Bryant, we have Caleb and Ryu, and we have Edward and Jeremy. All very fun and dynamic duos for very different reasons. Mikey and Aaliyah had not met each other in the game until the second swap. We're both collectively mourning Morgan's death in the game, and I think both were underdogs in their own right, and we're kind of their closest confidants for a good chunk of the game. Of course, we're victims of the seventh and sixth rounds. We have Bryant and Lily, who was this underdog pre-existing relationship that predates the game from their DCP days. No one really clocked until I think the very like tail end of the game. We have Edward and Jeremy, who are also very close friends inside of here, and Jeremy immediately upon meeting Edward told him everything. I thought it was hilarious, just how much Jeremy had no business disclosing Edward to this information, but they're friends, so like it's fine. And then we have Caleb and Ryu, who, while I didn't think they were each other's closest persons at first, I think just the way that the game played out brought them closer together. But there's one thing that one of these duos has in, well, actually, technically two things. That one duo can say, but not the rest of the duos could say. Three of these duos already knew each other before this game, and one duo did not. The best duo is the Future Fusion Alliance. They made it to the final three. They stuck it out all the way to the very end, even though Ryu lambasted Caleb and vice versa during the final five, the aftermath of the final five. We thought you guys were very fun. Alliance always weighing out all of your options, trying to throw something at the wall, try to see if it sticks. You guys were very. I
Future
don't.
fusion till I die, baby. Let's go.
You were also the only duo, I'm pretty sure, that had a name. So it was very scary whenever I was
They
like moving
were.
duos around in like one-on-one chats. And I was like, who the fuck is Future Fusion?
I tried to get one with Lily, and then we just never named it. We were like, whatever.
No, but I respect. Where did Future Fusion come from, if you don't mind me asking? I don't. Is it like
It's
a super?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought it was a Dragon Ball thing. I was like, oh, Fusion, like or Steven Universe. Those are the only fusions I fucking know. But Caleb, do you have anything to say? You got in the work, oh boy.
I love Ryu. Literally, okay. He was like the best ally on Earth. I would die for Ryu. I would do this game over again. Like, I think we got on call every day and just were like, what the fuck can we do?
We couldn't do a lot, buddy.
That's fair.
We were
But
cooked by like final
flipped it.
6.
Yeah, I had fun.
It was fun. It was a good time.
That's a good time indeed. We're gonna move on to our hero of the season. Last season, if you guys remembered, we had basically one option. That was it. That was the only person we could have chose because everyone else was rotted as fuck. This season,
That's rude.
it's true. It's absolutely true. You had
Okay,
to
yeah.
vote.
I was there.
You were. But here's the thing. We said we weren't going to do that this season. We said we have to look at everyone's games objectively, think of how they played the game, their approach to the game. And so here are the nominees of Hero of the Season. We have Lily. So Hero's Lily. Jared, if you want, please, you can.
I mean, there was really like no competition for Lily to win against Lily. Even though you could debate she was a villain with the way she ranted at Ryu. But there was really no competition. Like, it was just a clear path for her to win Hero.
I think like being so open about like hating the like not so flattering aspects of the game, like hating the aspect of lying, genuinely bringing lots of emotion and very raw and intense at that into the game. I thought it was very refreshing. There's lots of people who come into this game and are kind of like callous, for lack of a better word. They don't care about the feeling. I mean, they kind of care, but like they don't really express it as openly as you do. Like you felt horrible after the J1 vote. Like the call that you went on with Ryu, Caleb, and Edward, we felt terrible when you were crying so sincerely with J1 going home, and you felt terrible afterwards. So like, did your heroic tendencies, if you will, your desire to be as honest as you possibly can in a game like this, did that stop you from making villainous moves? No, I am aware of that much. I think you turned to be a villain by the end of your run. But on the board, who played a heroic game throughout the vast majority of it was you. So Lily, you're not a fairy hero, but you are still a hero, though. Maybe not the fairy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Viper Queen, let's go.
Viper
DQ,
Queen.
baby.
Well, speaking of V, with every hero of the season comes a villain of the season. We have hero, we have villain, we have underdog. We'll get to underdog when we get there, but villain of the season. I heard someone else on production want to give out this award.
Yes, because I'm a hateful ass motherfucker. I wanted to give out villain. So it really, a lot of y'all were hateful. I appreciate that. But it really came down to 2 people, and oddly enough, it was the duo of Caleb and Ryu, because both of y'all were nasty as fuck, and I respect it. But however, although there's arguments for both, there's definitely one that stood out, and it's 100% Ryu. I mean, you immediately took greed, that whole plumb bob situation, pissed off so many people during the game. Like, it only made sense that you were the villainous villain that you are.
I swear to God, in real life, I'm actually a good person.
That's what we all say.
And look, like we don't give out villain to someone we don't think is a good person. Like, of course, I think it's just like your approach to the game. Like you played this
Oh
games
no,
overtly.
I'll wear it with pride. I was definitely a villain. I think I came into the game. I was like, I'm gonna play this like a villain, and I did. It was a mess, but it was fun.
It was fun indeed. Speaking of fun, I finally get to talk about this. We finally get to talk about this, guys. We just gave Lily Hero and Ryu Villain, and there's an award we give out called the Rivalry of the Season. And I could finally talk about the toxic relationship that is the duo of Lily and Ryu. I could finally talk about it. I could finally get that off my chest. Y'all are the final two, so fucking how to. I have no idea how the fuck this happened. We have had this determined for eons. Like I don't know when this was locked in. Like there's a couple joke ones that we consider for like a round. Like I think the runner-up was like Aaliyah versus Caleb, and that was just one round. Like they were a duo for most of the game. We also had Jeremy versus the jury. If you were on the jury, you understand. Lily versus Ryu though. I don't have words.
That
I
was
really
pretty
don't.
iconic.
It
I'm
is
not
pretty
gonna lie.
iconic. Hero, villain, and then you guys are, I mean, I think it's very fitting, you know. Ryu did the thing to Morgan. Lily was going to beat the fucking shit out of Ryu for it. And then they ended up being swapped together like the Survivor gods were watching. They saw that tribal play out and said, no, we need to keep Lily and Ryu together. And Lily's like, I need to placate Ryu. I don't want to be on his bad side. He's in the majority. I am not. I gotta do this thing. And what the second I thought, oh, Lily is warming back up to Ryu. Like they don't completely hate each other anymore. Ryu takes greed. And so Lily is back on the fuck you Ryu train. And then come live night, um, we think everything's chill. We think everything, okay, cool. They both agree to get rid of Kevin. They get rid of Sergio. Cool, great, awesome. Then the Jaewon thing happens, and Lily is facing and walking out the door, out of the train station, and turns right back onto the fuck you Ryu train yet again. And for some reason, they Lily never once votes for Ryu. Let me preface this way. Like I said, Lily never once voted for Ryu. Lily voted Mikey like 4 times this season, but not once for Ryu. And it was I don't know why you guys trusted each other.
Clock
Like,
it, Jacob.
you guys just but no, Lily and Ryu, you guys were super entertaining to watch. Jared and Tawny would transcribe every single call that you guys would go on while I am at work or I'm just busy doing other things. I'm just like,
The call after the J vote, so many quotes from that one. So many.
I don't want
One
to.
of my favorites was the conversion rate from Canada to the US isn't equal. Like Lily was just roasting him that entire call, and it was constantly sending messages.
Thank you for getting him because I couldn't, Lily. So I appreciate it.
we're on call because like sometimes like me, Tawny, like the rest of prod are on a Zoom call after tribal council and people would join in on calls and but be muted in the calls but unmuted on the Zooms. Like all of us can listen in if we're not joining. We don't want to all join a chat and imply like this is an important conversation, you know, like people meta and stuff like that. And Lily's crying, her bawling her eyes out. It everything I can't even explain it. Like Ryu is not helping the situation at all. And Lily, adore you on a level. I was laughing because I'm like, there's no shot that they're going to make it past this point. There's no shot, but I feel like there's some way. There was a way. Yummy, it's a final two.
It just kept getting like so bad. But then like for some reason, we looked at each other and we're like, I think it makes sense for us to work together this round. And then it's so toxic. Lily, I love you as like a human. Like that's why we were able to talk because we never really really killed each other. But like, damn, it was so ridiculous. Even I was like throughout the season, like, why the fuck is Lily near the top of my trust rankings right now? I don't understand.
Yeah, it was very toxic.
I don't even think I'm even the best person to talk about this. I think that's like a Tawny Jared thing that they can go on eons about, but that's just personally my perspective of the whole situation. I'm going to then move on to the aforementioned underdog of the season. We have three nominees here. We have Mikey, we have Jeremy, we have Bryant. Underdogs for all very different reasons. Mikey, I think, was an underdog from the very beginning of the game. He uses the belt of buoyancy to float away from a tribal council that he was very much in danger of going to dodge bullet after bullet after bullet. The Morrigan round, it's dodging the bullets during the J1 round because it seemed like he was going to be the vote before it flipped over to J1 at the very last second. Wins crucial immunities they need to because he was definitely a contender to go home during the merge. You have Jeremy, which is entirely self-inflicted by his unwillingness to play the game. It is insistence. Please vote me out. Get me out of here. So he's an underdog because he chose to be. And then Bryant, who had a really shaky early start to the merge. He was in a lot of danger during the Kevin vote specifically. It looked like he was about to go home, but is able to rebound from this. But I feel like Mikey's journey from start to finish was a very valiant one.
Oh my God,
I
thank
guess in theory
God.
we could have given him hero as well. I think underdog was the perfect title to give because Mikey, you fought your ass off like crazy. We thought like if there's anyone who could potentially just win out and that is their winning trajectory, just your story, it was going to be you. Like we talked a lot about me and Jared about the stock watch. I'm like, Mikey's doesn't have like the most connections on the board, but I think lots of people are not looking at Mikey as a viable option when I feel like you should have been for lots of people. I think there was multiple points where people weren't really considering you as a candidate to work with, and I feel like that was a misstep on their part. But you still somehow making it to sixth despite all of those hardships, I think is very impressive. So like,
Can I interject on that really quick?
yes.
I remember talking to Lily and Ryu and Caleb multiple times advocating for Mikey down so hard, so many times. Like, you just have to talk to Mikey. Like, Mikey's like, just like at work, like, really, like, they're not being an actor. You just have to talk to them. Like, you can trust them, I promise. Like, just do it. And nobody would, except the one time Lily did.
And
It was just to use us, to
like
kill me.
that's what I meant when I said like I could see the whole time that like yeah, people were working with me, but nobody really viewed me as like a real true ally. And like Ryu, I said this in the jury chat, you made a bad read of thinking that I would target you at Final Five if you had kept me. I absolutely would not have. I at that point I wanted you at the end.
No, I actually I couldn't say that in the final tribal council. I actually agree with you. The problem was is that you beat me in the end. So I had to cut you.
I just think, yeah, but like I think I agree, Jacob. I think my only shot at the end was a win out, and it is what it is. But hey, I won something.
Wait, you wait down. No, it was a blast hosting you again. Of course, you had one of the biggest layoffs of anyone who had played Spellbound before. So you finished in third place. So it was ironic that
I
you
wanted
played
to
this.
finish in third again. I wanted to be a zero vote finalist. This is the only game Cam has ever hosted me in, and he's hosted me now, I think, four times. And I wanted this to be my fourth third place under Cam, and you ruined it.
This is like two third places if you think about it. You know, 3 plus 3 is 6. Like it's fine. You're good.
There.
You wait. But speaking of, I think Cam unmuted. We're talking about Cam so much. Cam, you're a prod favorite.
Yeah, I'm here. So basically, as I mentioned before, I love some fuck shit. I love some rotted ass bitch shit. I also love somebody that just talks shit in confessional, says the most random shit, like talking about random shit, like gonna dress up as free healthcare for the Republicans this Halloween. It's Caleb. Confessionals cracked me the fuck up. Like every time I just checked confessional, I just knew it was gonna be some funny shit said in there and some funny pictures. Like top tier. Was so fun to watch you play too.
Have any words, Caleb? You can.
Thank you. I love being rotted.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of rotted, my host favorite. So I just want to ask you guys just a quick, simple question. Like, you've ever tried to get a hold of somebody, try to contact somebody, you call their phone number, nothing, nada, zilch, not a word to be said. Totally fine, understandable. Maybe they're just not at their phone at this time, but maybe they're on another device with some social media. All right, you try calling them on Snapchat. That doesn't work either. So that doesn't work. You move on to Discord. You try to call them there, both call and voice call. Nothing, nada, zilch. You got to go onto Instagram to call them. Nothing, absolutely nothing. All four of these things fail. So you re-download Facebook to try to call them on there because somehow, maybe, just from some crazy convenience, maybe they'll answer the call on there. Nothing. And you realize it's because they were asleep, living their life, living their best life, worked their ass off at work. And you don't find out until like midnight. You ever had to do that before? Well, I've had to. And would you give your host favorite to that person? Why is it nodding your head? Yes. Okay, look, the last time I gave this person this award, they got mad at me. So what I'm going to do is instead of saying the reason I gave them host favorite and giving them host favorite, I'm going to do the complete opposite. I'm going to put this here. If you want to consider her my host favorite, then yes, I feel contractually obligated to mention her here. I will have a speech for her specifically after the season is over. But I wanted to highlight someone else because there was somebody I called once because they were not available and they were not here. And that motherfucker picked up fucking instantly. Nothing. No questions. Jay Wands. During this FTC, I call him on Instagram. I'm like, there's no shot he's going to pick this up. Let's try. He thought FTC was tomorrow. It was urgency. He fucking ran. Okay, seriously, though. Loved hosting Jay Wan again. Love hosting him, just period. He has been probably the most interesting returnee to host from like assessing him as a player perspective because he made it a very deep run, but it was another underdog one. So while he was setting himself up to be in the middle, like I feel like kind of similarly to Edward, he could have made a very long stride in this game if y'all didn't take him out at eighth. I thought J1 was gonna fucking wreak some havoc after nine. Like he mentions it in the jury roundtable, like him and Lily were going to do a lot of damage, and I genuinely believe that was correct. J1's boot was one of the more tragic ones for me during the season. Loved hosting him. I always gave insights, and I feel so sorry. I'm so sorry, J1. I never did the Zoom calls with you to do as many confessionals as you wanted me to during the season, but loved it every time I hopped on. Just I can't say enough nice words about you specifically, but yeah, so, love you, J1.
Yes, love you too. I just want to say the reason why I was like so like somber, just like, nah, I don't have anything to say after I got voted out. I was literally so mad the night before. Me and Lily are literally talking and we tell each other about our advantages we have. I'm just like, oh fuck, we're about to fuck some shit up. And my shit got fucked up. So like I was like pretty mad, but it's fine.
Nah, man, dude, I was. We'll talk again more postseason. But with that, I got to give it over to my co-star of the Stock Watch real quick. Who's your host favorite, Jerry?
So I do have an honorable mention. If you want to go ahead and bring that up. So honorable mention being Lily. Lily hosted me a year and a half ago, but I barely interacted with her because I was in that game for like 72 hours because of Bryant. Um,
Idled out first boot.
yes, I was idled out. Okay, so just her funny ass comments during any time of day, specifically when you got her started, when she would say the word brother, you knew that it was done for. Um, but I wanted to highlight someone who I didn't really know going into this game whatsoever. So my host favorite is Edward. Your weird ass comments and memes that you would send would always make me laugh. And it was a bright spot of my day. So I had to pick you for my host favorite.
I appreciate it. I well actually I don't want to say what I want to say on the stream, so I'll say it later.
Also, you falling asleep on call that one time. Still hilarious.
Like, girl. Like,
Yep.
hello.
No, for context, during the shoot reflect nothing challenge, Edward fell asleep and his tribe had to strategize around the
Oh
fact that
shit,
Edward
I
was.
forgot about that.
Sure
We did.
did.
Wait, I forgot about that.
And it helped them.
It really did. It really did because we just like didn't have an extra voice to tell us more ideas. We could really consolidate. It was nice.
And it didn't help that I was at work and Edward was sleeping.
Like you had already like pre-submitted, so we were like, Edward already did it, so we kind of have to do that.
That's
So
so funny.
the plan's in place, y'all.
Bonnie, words.
Hi, I'm alive. I'm
Say them.
here.
You have an honorable mention.
I do have an honorable mention. I did see that you did add it when I asked. I appreciate that. So I guess go ahead and pull that up. My honorable mention is Bryant. It I played with Bryant a year and a half ago. Had blast doing it. Was really excited to host them because I mean, a mini is one thing, but like being able to actually see the strategy that goes into that head of his, very entertaining, always sassy, and I had a blast. But there was someone I did enjoy just a wee bit more. If you could go to the next slide, and that would be Lily, and that is why you are Jared's honorable mention because I called you very early on. Um, again, you're, there's just something that when a woman just yells, or not yells, but like scolds a man multiple times, it's just, it just gives me like a warm, happy, fuzzy feeling. And especially like when it's correct. Like, because your reads were always good. Like, especially like there are things I will go into later again off stream, but like it was a blast hosting you, watching you, and I am this was a very deserved win as well.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we have Xander's host favorite. So, Xander, we're letting you out of the cage to give out your host favorites, but then you have to.
Oh, I'm out of the cage. Oh, well. Let me tell you, I brought some friends with me. Now, if anyone who knows me knows that I love my funny little guys, you see them with me here. And I was politely requested not to do any more stock watches after the one I so generously ruined. And yes, it was ruined. If you would like to watch it, feel free. But I kept mine up, and no one liked it. Now, I don't have an honorable mention because I'll be honest, I hated all of you guys. You all sucked, but it was a great time. Now, I guess, I could say honorable mention my bed because it was more relaxing than watching any of this game. Now I'm done dogging on everyone. This person I enjoyed watching literally the whole time. Uh I was actually crying when this person left. Even though it benefited everyone who was sitting at the end, but uh Jacob, if you would like to did you do the picture? I'm curious.
I did not do the picture. I'm very
Oh,
sorry.
that is you make me so upset actually. But it's Jeremy. If you watch a stock watch, uh Jeremy was playing a very different game in my opinion. I compared him to Emperor Bullblax, the love of my life, the main villain of the Pikmin franchise. Uh just proceeding he's the love of my life. There is a picture out there with me in a heart bubble with him. And that is my relationship with Jeremy in this game. I loved him. I loved watching everything about him. Uh, Everything he did was just amazing and perfect, and I would just watch anything he did. Um, and he picked me as his favorite too, so like I'm not gonna complain. I'll be egotistical. But yeah, that's about it.
Also, Jeremy deserves credit because his reads in this season were perfect. Specifically, the round I really remember is the shoot reflect nothing round. I think it was like round 3. He predicted everything correctly to a T, and after like Sanam's tribe had like already submitted, he literally was like, "This is what we need to do because this is what the tribe did." And I was like, "Is he like reading their chats? Because this is exactly what they did." It was insane. So Jeremy's reads were like perfect.
Is Jeremy still here? Darn.
I think he's.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
died.
what I thought.
I was about
I'm
to say, I
just
didn't.
running around with my phone on, so not all the way paying attention. But thank you, Xander. And we appreciate your ability to keep the moon out every night.
I'm gonna take it one of these days.
Well, we have our final, our most illustrious award, Player of the Season. Prefacing, we do not give this out to our winner. So everyone else is in contention for this award. We gave it to this player specifically because we were impressed with, I think their whole game, they showed lots of promise. You'll see on the stock watches a lot of sixes and sevens. We're liking what they're doing. They're building it up. They're kind of like laying up a stack of cards, and it could be amazing. It could topple off at any moment, but this person was very careful and intentional with everything that they were doing in the game. I think they also, compared to Jeremy, so I guess I'm inadvertently spoiling it's not Jeremy, had one of the best reads on the game. And I don't think I've ever been more impressed by a player strategically to the extent that I was with this in a very long time. I think this person had the game on lock. If somehow he was able to beat Caleb and Fire. Bryant, I think you played an excellent game. I like from the moment that the impressive bananas was formed, which was the majority alliance of the OG Baravi, was you, Kevin, Sanam, Jeremy. You were already planting the seeds. You were already preparing, like, I'm gonna have to have to snipe one of these guys at some point. Come the swap, you forge this relationship with J1 and you're weighing the option. Do I blindside a Sanam or a Kevin right now? You get the zap gun and you lie about the properties of said zap gun and are then if you go to tribal council again weighing like, okay, do I take Sanam out with the idol? Do I take out Kevin? Like you never stood in one place or stood in one bubble for an extended period of time. And I think you exercised all of your options and weighed them all out very carefully. I think you did lots of things that people didn't clock onto until during roundtable. When people started talking, I got hyped. I was like, oh shit, Brian can fucking take this game. I thought you played stupendously. And I don't think any word I can say or any regard I can give you can accurately portray how impressed we all on production were by how well you played this game because it was not looking hot for you coming into the merge. Like Sanam going home while like you wanted this to happen, kind of sort of like you were running out of numbers, you were running out of people who were actively advocating for you. It was between you, Kevin, who was also a big proponent of working with you, and you linking up with Lily was perfect. I think you guys were able to, I don't know, just player of the season.
Wait, that's so awesome. Thank you. I really one of my big fears coming into a game is that like I'm gonna be thinking I'm playing a strategy and no one's gonna see it and I'm gonna be delusional. So I'm happy that like the work I put into this game, while it caused me endless no sleep nights, I thank you. That's really sweet.
No, thank you. And thank everybody here for playing Spellbound Survivor Dungeon Crawler again. This has been a fun, super fun season to spectate, to host. I think after the past couple seasons, I've been needing like a pick-me-up, and you guys definitely provided pick-me-ups aplenty. So thank you guys very much for doing that. Before we turn off the live stream and end this season for good, we do have fun consolation prizes, consolation awards, some superlatives. We have one for each person on the cast. We're going to go from boot order. So we're going to go to Zach. Zach gets the saddest crash out award because okay, for context, he was our first runner-up. This game meant the world to him, essentially. So for him to go from that to first boot was very upsetting, and I felt really bad for him. He felt really disappointed, felt really down. He apologized to me, and I've never felt like I felt terrible in that moment. So saddest crash out might not sound like the most flattering award, but if anybody, I don't think anyone, even on this call, cared more about Spellbound than Zach did. He really wanted to play. Unfortunately, he didn't get that shot too, but we're so thankful that you were able to come back and give it another shot. We've been dying to see you have another shot at it. That's why we casted you for the mini. That's also inadvertently why we casted you in Hypnotic as well, because I know you have potential. I know you have a phenomenal game in you. Marvin is next, and he gets the longest time to fill out an app award because we gave him the app. I think like I forgot how long it took. 2 weeks. I send him. He says, "Hey Jacob, send me the link." Yeah, sure, I'll play. I send it to him. 2 weeks later, like maybe like a few games before the game's about to start, he's like, "Okay, I filled it out. Thanks."
Just for him to get second boot.
That flop. All right, we move on to Issa though. The most tragic absence award. Really, the reason that Issa got sent home is very simple. They were not on the Zoom for that tribal council. I think if they were there, there's a good chance. I don't know what happens. I don't know if Lily wants to speak on her
I
perspective.
would have that word.
But I know J1 did. I don't know like whether this would have gone to a tie, it's gone to a revote, this would have gone to rocks. I think Issa had a much better chance. It got screwed over by the fact that they just couldn't show up. They got really busy. Asin is next word, and gets the most likely to beef with someone named Mark award, as J1 mentioned during the jury roundtable. The final three doesn't know. J1 had to mark someone for killing. If that person ended up getting voted off, it would allow him to play advantages. And Asin was the person that he had marked. So inadvertently, by Kevin, Sanam, and Bryant choosing to vote off Aston to appear to be more fluid and hide, masquerade the fact that they're working with Bravi, they activated J1's idol. So now Aston has beef with the name Mark, the word Mark, forever, for the rest of their life. And honestly, they'd be real for that. The next person, though, is Morgan. They get the second best Morgan award because in the preseason, we're like running down through all of the production, all the cast photos and whatnot. And Morgan's thing was named Morgan 2 because we had a Morgan play the series before.
Bye. No, I literally threw a fit in my prod chat and was like, I'm not fucking playing this game if you make me Morgan too. The fuck? Who
Take
the
it
fuck
up
is
with
Morgan
Matt,
too?
what's his face, who wrote Dungeon Crawler, because I went based off of how crawlers are named when they walk into the dungeon.
And you'd be crazy to think that that fight happened just in the prod chat, Diva. That's all I heard about for a week. Like, hello?
Literally, I was like,
Like,
I'm disrespected. I'm fucking disrespected. I
trust
have no
me.
idea what Dungeon
I
Crawler
was really
Carl is.
hoping we would get like another name so that way you wouldn't be the only two, but it just didn't.
I told Tanya to fix it, and they were like, "No, but it's funny." I was like,
No, it wasn't funny. It was ruining my life. Hello? We thought about it every day.
Literally, I was like, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. They hate me and I
But I
hate them.
fixed it.
You know me, I don't give a fuck. So I was like, girl, let it go. Like, just let it go.
And I didn't, and look what happened. You get results.
Speaking of results, we go on to Tommy. He gets the most confused by his own boot award. The second that he got booed was like, what the fuck happened? Why the fuck did it happen? How the fuck did it happen? Where the fuck did it happen? When the fuck did it happen? He was questioning every single person, like, why the fuck would they do that?
True.
And
Okay, but I have to ask, Tommy, did you actually have that safety without power? Or
No, that was a
Okay,
blatant lie.
yeah,
I knew I was fucked. So I tried.
You could have said any other advantage other than safety without power.
I know, I couldn't think of anything else. What
You
else?
could have said you had an idol. Literally
That's true.
anything.
That's true. That's true. It was a last second, like I think I was watching Survivor when it happened, and I think Soph had just found her knowledge's power or something. I don't.
So inspiration struck.
Exactly.
If you had said idol,
Do not spoil anything from tonight's episode.
Oh, okay.
It's a good episode,
It's a very
y'all.
good episode. It's a very good episode.
No one say a word.
Somebody leaves. That's the spoiler.
Someone gets voted out. Someone wins immunity.
Kevin, what the fuck, dude?
But
Come on.
who the fuck didn't vote me out, Jacob? Tell me.
oh
I
yeah, oh yeah.
voted
By the
you
way,
out.
he figured that part out very quickly, Aaliyah. Like
didn't vote you out is the question.
Mikey was the one because his advantage meant that he had to vote in the minority, so he
I
was forced
forgot.
to not vote.
I forgot about that until literally right now. So
Because I sure did tell everybody about that. You're muted, Mikey.
Mikey,
baby.
if you are talking to us, you're muted.
Oh, he's not. Okay. But thanks, Jacob.
Speaking of that we move on to Sanam, she has the Moist Potential Award because we had lots of stock with her at the beginning of the season. She seemed to be like a front runner. She seemed to be the most trusted on the OG Baravi tribe, like looking just at like trust rankings. But you're probably wondering why Moist. Of the two reasons. One, she is the first person to have mentioned the name Lulu looking a lot like that. Her she was disgusting. And then during code names, I forgot what it was. I think it was like tower, and it was like, oh, sex. People have
Oh
sex
yeah.
in towers.
It was whole, I think, wasn't it?
Well, that was one of them, but I think
Well,
also
no,
tower was
Eiffel
one.
Tower was the thing because that was my thought too, and that
Oh,
was
that was
something
Aaliyah. That was
connect.
Aaliyah.
That
Aaliyah
was
did
Oh my
that.
god, us
cross
out
tribal
of fucking
communication
round
right
two.
there. Because I literally was like, I immediately thought of Eiffel Tower, Diva. So like, I
There
get
was
it.
That was
like
the bomb word.
she said
Oh,
sex.
yes.
She's like sex for two, and then there was like six things that sex could have been
I was
involved
just
with. We're
like,
like,
whole
what?
tower, whole tower, whole tower, whole tower.
Yeah.
That was a fun challenge.
Yeah, no, Sadeb just and it's like most moist, like she loves
Mm.
puns and stuff like that. So good for her. Sergio is next. Sergio gets the Mayor of a Ghost Town award because there was lots of jurors going into the jury chat, but not lots of people talking when they got in the jury chat. I felt Sergio, I think, ranted about this in his prod chat. I was like, why the fuck is no one talking here? I hope they're at least crashing out in their prod chats, and there was some crashing out taking place. I felt bad for Sergio, and Kevin as well was also concerned by the lack of activity until Jeremy basically how do I put this?
Hey, I talked when I got there.
No,
Provoked is the correct word.
You got there at the same time.
Jeremy, I was going to say rage baited. I think was the
He
better
did,
word.
and I take rage bait very well. So I yelled at him and then complied.
But it worked. So good for
And then
Jeremy.
told him it worked, and I was so mad about it. Like, what the fuck?
We move on to Kevin, who gets the most likely to slip on a plantain award. So he ended up in the majority alliance of the OG Ravi called the most impressive bananas, but he really wanted spin-off alliance, like branch off alliances, to be named bananas for some reason, to which he had an alliance with Jeremy, Bryant, and J1, and wanted to somehow organically bring up the word plantain in that conversation somehow. I thought it was so unnecessary. But it was hilarious. I was like, for me, obviously me, I'm like, oh, that's fucking funny. I just don't know. He's most likely to, yeah. So
No, that was something that like we talked about in a call where it's like, wouldn't it be funny if like every alliance name was like an offshoot of Impressive Bananas, so everyone's a part of the bananas, they just don't know that they're part of the bananas, and so that was kind of the idea. So it's like, all right, let's try to find alternatives of bananas, and just plantain was one of the things that we came up with. And Jeremy's like, okay, well, I'm at a grocery store, I'll just say I'm at a plantain. I'm like, perfect, let's do it. It was great. It was great.
Maybe it's the rhyme, but that is so big brain, Diva. Like,
I thought it was
hello?
funny.
Like,
It was funny as fuck because also like they would react to things. They were planning on reacting with announcements with the banana emoji, just like to like, ha, see, I'm still a banana, whatever.
oh, we have an inside joke. We're so cute.
It was cute and it was funny. But
It would have gone great if Sanam just had played her fucking idol. Then we would have been great.
Where is that, Diva?
Oh no,
No,
Jeremy and
no.
Bryant were already ready to flip like rounds ago.
I was chomping at the bit to take Sanam out, and Jay just couldn't because Jay had to get Aston out. So
I wasn't even on her tribe and I was talking about it in my pod chat. Like, hello.
speaking of Prod Chat, we have Jawan, who gets the Doom Scroller Award because he was the second he got voted off, he was like, "Do you have any final words, Jawan?" He was like, "No." We had not heard a word from him since that point. I have to text him on Instagram because he just posted his story. I was just like, "Hey, Jawan, is everything good? Like, are you good for Roundtable?" And I mentioned this earlier. I called him to come here, so loves his Instagram, my boy.
Yeah, I was like really pissed when I got voted out. I needed time to cool down, and then I like some stuff happened as well. But yeah, I was really pissed. But it is fine.
And I'm glad that I hope everything is better now. We hope everything is taken care of. I know you talked about it a little bit in private. Obviously, I'm not going to share it here, but hope everything's all right, boss. We're going to move on to Edward. He gets the Sleeping Beauty award, but not just the Sleeping Beauty award, Sleeping Beauty 1 award, because then we move on to Aaliyah, who gets Sleeping Beauty 2.
Y'all are so unoriginal.
No. And then in case you complained, I also put down the most likely to fall into a hole award. Okay, does that make you feel better?
Why do you know me so well? Hello?
Yeah, I marked that down. So yeah, I already explained it earlier that Edward fell asleep during the Shoot Reflect Nothing challenge. It inspired them to play the way that they did. And then Aaliyah fell asleep not during one, but two merged tribal councils, fell asleep during a live night, a live challenge, to the point where she couldn't even self-vote the second time because she was immune. Like, how dare she stay up for the challenge the round prior, but not even like
I did
pre
tell multiple people. I told Lily, like, I'm gonna take a nap, but I'm fearful for this nap. And I should have been.
pre-voted.
I should have in that moment, but it was 4 o'clock. I didn't think that it was gonna be an issue.
And
It
then
was.
most likely to fall in award or most likely to fall into a whole award is because of the aforementioned code names of it all. You pick the black word on the code names because of Sanam's perverted mind. Then when Mikey said caboose, you said a whole, obviously.
I'm sorry.
Which is very fair, very valid. Everyone else agreed with you there,
And they
except
got
for
me
Cody.
voted out. I didn't think
I am just a girl. I am sorry. Like a hole's a
Only thing that
hole.
made sense at the time. We were all like stumped on that one.
it made a lot of sense. Don't worry.
All our minds were focused on hole, not just mine. Hello.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Speaking of one of us girls, one another alliance I was hoping would launch off. We go to Mikey, the most likely to sell feet pics award, because during the live challenge, the final portion was like, "Oh, I'm not doing this for free. Are people paying me for this?" Like, I don't really think I have much to elaborate on that. You saw it. It's up there. It's public. It's on YouTube. So if we get monetized from that, Mikey, all the proceeds will go to you as the winner of individual immunity and as the one who personally requested it. So good for you. You have royalties now.
That's recorded. That's legally binding.
It is legally binding. Speaking of legally binding, we go on to Jeremy. We got to wrap this up because I'm looking at the time. Jesus, it's midnight.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
I'm hopping off. Good night, everybody. Congrats again, Lily. Bye. Mwah.
let's wrap this up. Jeremy gets the DJ from World Tour Award. If you watch Total Drama World Tour, you'll understand every episode during that season, DJ kept asking, I want to go home. And just no matter what, he outlasted his whole team. Everyone else got sent home before him. It was hilarious. I feel for him because I understand. I've been there before. Bryant gets the Sword, Dagger, and the Stone Award. So not just the sword and the stone, but the dagger and the sword. Because I still don't understand what the problem was. But you had can you please explain? Because since you're here, like what was the issue semantically about it?
Okay, so in the memorization challenge, it was like okay to switch sword and dagger. Then we get to the final, I don't know, 5 or 6 challenge, and you specifically say what it is, exactly what it is. And so I'm like, oh, a sword. Ryu puts dagger and gets points for it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna call it out. And then I forget to spell a word, and I lose. It's fine.
I specifically said you didn't have to. I specifically said, hey, if you get the general idea request, you could say sword or dagger. It would be accepted. It'd be fine. During the memorization challenge.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I wanted you out at that point, and I was like, the dude should have gotten that, right? Like, he definitely should have.
I was chatting because I couldn't be on call or voice that challenge. And I was like, Brian should get this point. I have hosted. This is close enough.
I honestly think it worked out for the best. I think, yeah. So, but I would have liked 2, considering I've never won 1 before this.
I didn't mute you. I don't know if you muted yourself. Whatever. Caleb gets the hardest worker to get an episode quote award every episode, every round. Jared kept forwarding stuff from Caleb's chat as like this could be the episode quote of the season, and we kept making a joke in production saying like he's clearly desperately trying to get an episode quote every round, which unfortunately Caleb was not arranged. But you did get some episode quotes, so I'll give you that. Penultimate award, Ryu gets the illiteracy award because my man does not know how to read shit. He does not know how to read instructions, does not know how to read advantages, he does not know how to read rules. And whenever I explicitly say something in the announcement chat, he would ask me a question that if he just scrolled up just like a little bit in the announcement chat, he would have had the answer. He did not need to ask production for us. He did not need to ask all of us for it. And then lastly, Lily, winner of the season, gets the best comebacks award. Not like comeback in the game, but just like whenever you were mad at people, just the quotes that come by, you were just snippy with it. You got the gift to gab, clearly. But that concludes the award ceremony. I'm talking like in a low voice because I'm also sleepy. I don't have energy for this. Thank you guys so much for playing Spellbound Survivor Dungeon Crawler. We'll see you guys at season 6.